identity is going to be stolen, your company is going to be breached, data is going to be available out there. Security is really a hot area, and Georgia sits right in the middle of that. There's other areas like digital media, entertainment, logistics, supply chain, and a number of others. But those are 3 areas where we rank high.
Great. Looks like there's a lot of areas that you can help for and provide resources on that. So my following question: you see a lot of Chinese faces here, and so what are how might Chinese investors? So we have Chinese investors too. How might Chinese investors come to understand the opportunities in Georgia and the Southeast? Like I said, this competition is on the Southeast, so we're going to promote Southeast. So.
Well, and as I said earlier, people, when you think about the Southeast, may not at first think about technology. We rank totally in Georgia about number 6 in the nation in terms of how much technology goes on here. There's 20,000 companies. It's 113.1, according to our last economic impact study, billion-dollar industry. So how do you really get to know about the companies here and where to invest and where to partner? So there's lots of emphasis on Silicon Valley, and one of the differences here is that there's not as many investors here, obviously, but at last total, well over 70% of the investments in Georgia and in the Southeast come from outside of that area. So companies will come in and they'll make investments here. And that's a good thing because the companies here need those investments from outside the state. The way to become knowledgeable about that, there's a number of ways. First of all, through your own associations and your own network with Chinese organizations. Secondly, there's activities throughout the year. There's something called Venture Atlanta. Everybody mark that down. Venture Atlanta is a great event, and we'll showcase about 30 companies that will be presenting from the Southeast, and they'll present to over 700 or 800 people, over a couple hundred investors, and either you can be there to observe. If you're an entrepreneur, you really want to hear presentations like that to see what their message is. And third, it's a great place for partnerships. TAG does a business launch competition where we give away $50,000 to the best new business launch. We give away another $50,000 to the best new fintech launch. So if you're there as an observer, or if you're there to understand the community, or if you're there to present and compete, those are great ways to get to know the community. Certainly getting involved with our organization is another great way to understand what's going on in the area. The last thing I'll say is 5 years ago, if you asked me to tell you how many innovation centers, co-location spaces, accelerators, incubators were in our Atlanta area, I could probably name them all on one hand. Now there's over 100 incubators, accelerators, co-location spaces right in our area, which means that you can go to a group called ATDC or Atlanta Technology Village or many others and set up an office there, or you can go there and just on certain days of the week or the month meet the companies there. Companies, of course, would love to see investors there, and if you're an entrepreneur, those are great places to settle. So it's the Southeast is a very robust, probably underserved area that has a lot of potential, and we'd love everybody to invest in the Southeast.
Very good. Yeah, so we have the intelligence, we have the resource, so let's all work together to make our Southeast like another next Silicon Valley. How's that? Actually, we are doing pretty well, and I actually want to open the floor to 2 questions. Do you have any questions for any of those panelists? Yes.
Yeah, 我的问题呢是对唐先生您今天那个早上演讲的时候呢提 到中国的天使投资 VC， 他们注重项目的几个方面，一个是团队，一个是技术商业模式，还有市场方向。可以就是说稍微详细一下，跟说一下，就说在如何市场化这方面，这些 VC 是主要看的是哪些方面？如何市场化？就说你刚才说的是 VC 们看的其中有一点，就是说你这个产品或者项目如何市场化，就具体能不能谈一谈，他们主要是看哪些方面？
对，就是我刚才也讲过，对于一家投资机构来讲，其实他所管理的基金都是募集来的，对吧？这个在中国的话，可能有政府的引导基金，也有这种机构投资者，也有个人投资者，那我讲这个的意思就是说，任何一家基金管理机构，它面对的投资人的压力也是巨大的。那换句话说，他投资的这个项目，他是希望每一个项目都像 Google、阿里巴巴那样，对吧？至少在刚投资的时候，那我们都是这么认为的，我们也才会投资这样的一个项目。那我刚才讲的这个所谓的这个市场化就是讲得更详细一点就比如说王忠林院士其实他这边研究了很多这个比较先进的这样的一些这个产品或者说获得了一些这个比较前沿的这个技术像他这样的项目我们应该讲是非常感兴趣的但是即使是这个王忠林院士可能现在不在即使在我也会这么讲，对吧？就是即使是这样，我也不一定会投我说不一定是指我还得看王忠林院士他们这个团队里面，他们有没有一些真正能够市场化的这个在中国叫经营管理的这样的一些人才，对吧？因为在目前的这个经济社会当中我认为这个酒香一定是它巷子深的，对吧？而且牵涉到它的市场的应用推广，应该讲是特别复杂所以我刚才讲市场化的应用，就是我们是希望你有好的创意，你有好的产品，你有好的技术，最后你一定能够推到市场上去，你一定能够满足用户的这个需求特别是用户的这个刚性需求我叫刚需这样的项目我们才有可能会比较感兴趣到最后真正去做投资。
好，谢谢。One more question. I think that girl in back. Sorry. You. Are you a student?
So thank you for being here with us today. I'm actually a student from Emory University. I guess I have a quick question about, from your perspective, as you mentioned before about cross industries, which industries that you see have potentials to merge together at this point, maybe in the US as well as in China? This is a question for all the panelists.
Well, I'll start. As I said, I think if you're looking at the emerging industries, certainly the speaker this morning that talked about things like nano and machine learning and wearables, and those activities are going to be areas of great importance. We all, at least I'm sure on the panel, talked quite a bit about disruptive technology. So whether you're in fintech or health IT or security, there's going to be a number of companies that are coming in and disrupting the current status quo. And the big companies, I think the question was asked, I didn't really answer it, but the big companies are challenged to stay current and I think this has always been the case, to stay quick on their feet, if you will, because the small companies are going to be clipping at their heels and coming up with new technologies. So we also talk about Uber and taxis and hotels and Airbnb and a number of other areas. And then, really what's happening, I think, in security is going to be a key area in terms of investment and movement in that particular area. Anything that can make work easier, faster, is going to be important in using the latest technologies, and certainly the sciences related to bio and the use of bio in all different areas will be key.